They're your teeth. Do what the fuck you want to do with them. So I'm doing a video which is basically why you shouldn't listen to other people about getting the braces done. Basically one of the lads at work turned around to me and said that he'd wanted to get it done for fucking ages, and what was basically holding him back was his family, his mum. Now it wasn't his fucking mum, it was his girlfriend's mum, and his girlfriend were holding him back, which, you know, I can see why. There's a little bit of me that's like, that's fucking shit, you know, but I understand in a way. When he explained it, I can understand where they're coming from, because it's all to do about money. But you know, I could see it in the guy's eyes. He really wanted to have it done. His teeth really affected him. It really stopped him from smiling. It stopped him from feeling good. You know, and I think back at my journey, and that's part of the reason I haven't done it. You know, and it's not always bad actually. Some of it was the fact that some people actually turned around and said, "You've actually got nice teeth." You know, and that's their opinion. That's good. Don't get me wrong. It was nice when they said it, but that is their opinion, and it didn't match my opinion. And I found actually after, you know, I'm talking about like a couple of ex-girlfriends really. After we'd split up, then, you know, not that their opinion didn't matter so much, but it fades, it goes away. And you're left with your own opinion and your own feelings and how you feel about it. So you can't go off of what other people say. You've got to go off how you feel, you know. And if it is really affecting you that much, you should change it. You should do something about it, you know. You know, I'm saying all this now because I've done it. I've got them changed. They are actually starting to change now as well, you know. I can see it. The first couple of weeks I thought, what the fuck's going on? Like, you know, nothing's happening, but they don't move that quick. I think they move like up to sort of 2 mil a week, if that. So you don't notice the change that much, but I've started noticing the change now. Going back to about the video. Okay, so basically you work. It's your money. You put the hard effort in. You can pay for it yourself. If you've got family, if you've got kids, I know it's different. I know that they are your responsibility, but, and this is going to sound harsh, if you put other people in front of you, it's going to ruin your happiness, it's going to ruin your life. You're not going to be giving them people back the best of what you have. So if you have to work a little bit of overtime, work a little bit of overtime. You might not be able to do enough overtime to pay for it all. You might have to set up on a monthly pay plan. This is braces, man, I can't say words very well. Monthly pay plan. For instance, what I do is I pay £100 a month. I put 1,500 quid down and it's £100 a month after. You know, I do one extra shift at work, and that's like £60-70. So alright, it's not paying for it all. It's manageable, you know, it's not affecting my life. It's one shift. I think it's worth it. I hope you'll think it's worth it too, you know. You know, an important fact, and something that a lot of people have said to me, is since I've become more happy, it's rubbing off on other people. And I think, you know, people fucking, you don't realise that. I didn't realise that, but I realise it now. Do you know what I mean? You know, people actually turn around to me and saying, "John, you actually seem really happy." And it's been a fucking long time, really. You know, I'm talking possibly 5 years since I've been really, really happy. Sorry, I'm just have a quick drink. It's been about 5 years since I've been really, really happy. And like, people are noticing it, and it's rubbing off on other people. You know, I notice when people are around me, they're like, they feel happy, they're good. You know, there's a guy I follow on YouTube says it's the law of state transfer. So whatever you give out, whatever your emotional state is what you get back. And like, being happy and being energetic and passionate, you get that back. You know what I mean? It's amazing, and this is part of getting the teeth sorted. You know, it's unreal. It is unreal. Another thing that sort of I've noticed a bit more is now my self-esteem is picked up. I feel better in myself. It's given me a lot more confidence in my decision making, handling stressful situations, like i.e. my boss asking me to change my shift pattern at work, which would have totally fucked my life up, you know, and I had the sort of more confidence just to say no, you know, it's not going to happen. And I know that might not seem like it's related to the teeth in general, but because of my whole aura, my whole mood has changed, and I feel better about life. You know, I don't feel like I'm confined. I feel like my world's opened up. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if he said no, fair enough, you know, I can go and get another job. You know, I'm not hiding away from the world. Like, I feel like I was hiding away quite a lot. It's a simple thing. This is one of other things, you know, I've been doing other sort of been reading a lot of self-help books and other things, you know, because I know it's not just the physical, it's the internal stuff, but this has been a massive start. It's a big deal, you know, it's a big deal to me. You know, what it boils down to is we've only really got one opportunity, haven't we? One life. Why live it in misery? Why? There's no reason why. If you're not happy, change it, or at least try. What else am I going to spend that money on? Beer, cinema, you know, what's the point? I might as well spend it on something that is going to last for a long time. Well, hopefully my teeth will last until I'm 70, 80 maybe, if I take good care of them, you know. I see it as an investment in myself, you know, in my looks. You know, I was always a big advocate of like, it's not the way you look, you know, it's your internal stuff, and that is true. Other people do judge you on how you look, and you know, within the first sort of 10 seconds or whatever it is. And even though that's not... And I always found that when I was chatting with somebody new, I was quite conscious of that fact. And, you know, it'd be racking around in my mind a little bit. But now I've had them done and they're on the mend, you know, and I can see a bit of improvement. You know, I've actually, since I've had them on, which I was quite conscious about to begin with, I've actually started smiling more now I've got them on. I think it's just because I don't give a shit. Because I realised I literally could die tomorrow. So I just want to enjoy every fucking moment as much as I can. Alright, I would say nowadays 90% of my life I enjoy. And there's about 10% of it which, you know, sort of ebbs and flows up and down, a little bit up and down, you know. I still get the odd sort of moment where I'm a bit like that, you know, but it's generally when something physical's wrong with me, like I'm tired, or, you know, I exercised way too much last week, like proper killed myself, do you know what I mean? I think my cortisol levels were so high, I was just knackered, like constantly knackered all the time. So yeah, life is good, you know, since I've realised that and not giving a shit what other people think, life's got a lot better, you know what I mean? And those relations, you know, if there are people that are putting you off doing things that you want, really you've got to look at them and you've got to say, do I need them in my life? Are they a positive influence? Maybe they are, maybe they're not, you know, maybe they support you in other ways, but you've got to be straight up with them. If they're affecting you mentally, you've got to say something, you know. It's hard, being honest is hard, but I've put more honesty into my life and it's paying dividends, you know. Sometimes people just don't understand, you know, they just don't understand. If you can explain it to them, it'll help. It might not straight away, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for the penny to drop, but try again and then see what happens, you know. But to be fair, I got this this little nugget of advice from a book called The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, and he said, you know, if you want to make a decision, people will always put blockers in front of it, no matter who it is. Unless they're really on on your side and can see it straight away, they'll put a block in there. But what you should do is basically do it first and apologise afterwards, and that takes some getting used to, and it's a bit nerve-wracking to begin with. But I've made some decisions. You know, one of getting these, for example, you know, like I know a lot of people were like, I've mentioned it, like I said, in another blog, I mentioned it, mumbling. I mentioned it about a year ago, and people were like, no, you don't need to do it, your teeth are good, and all the rest of it. And do you know what? I didn't even tell anyone I was getting it done. I just went and did it. And not that I have to apologise for it, but do you know what I mean? Everybody afterwards was like, oh, alright, oh. And then nobody gives a shit. Do you know what I mean? But if you tell people first, sometimes they put blockers up. And I think if it's something that you really want to do, then maybe... yeah, you should just do it. It's been making sense for me to just do the things that I want to do, and if someone gets hurt by it, apologise afterwards. If it's going to be something extreme and somebody's going to get hurt, then yeah, either talk to them about it first or consider at least talking to them about it first. But if it's something that really affects just you, then just do it. Yeah. They're your teeth. It's your life. It's your money. It's no one else's. Do it.